So back in the days before Civ, I used to play with a buddy of mine, and we would build a city together. It was a group of 4 people, but it was narrowed down to 2 eventually, because well, things happen in the real world. And I remember one particular time. I had an elytra. I had a lot, like full gear and everything. I had a bunch of valuables on me, and I died, and I couldn't find it, and I lost it all. And I was so rattled by that I instantly rage quit and didn't come back for a while. I am immune to this now, and we should all be. And the reason is Peter. You see, I didn't have something stronger than those possessions tying me to the world. We had our little cities, but they were purely aesthetic projects. They weren't functional as our cities functional in Civ. They were an exercise in pure creativity for its own sake. And it wasn't a strong enough narrative to tie me to that world if something should happen to me, like losing all my shit. But that is why the real power, the real strength, the real thing keeping people going, it has nothing to do with material possessions. You can collect and gain and have in any server. Any server allows you to do these things. Loss can occur in any of those worlds. But if that is the only thing tying you to a world, that is not a very strong tie to the world. Which is why we must have something much stronger than that cannot be lost. And we do. We do have that. We were given that by our king. He created, and this is, I think, the key word, he gave us a narrative, a story that we exist in. This is the ultimate power in the world. When you can situate yourself in a narrative that encompasses the whole world, that becomes the thing that ties you to the world. It can't be taken away from you. Loss can only make that story stronger to you. And this is why religions exist. This is why every organization exists. Every organization of human beings is a narrative that gives them cohesion and power and purpose and direction. Tethers them to the world in a specific way that evolves and grows, but never runs out. Like a tree that continues to spout branches. And pieces of those branches fall off, and leaves fall off, and fruit falls off. But the tree continues to grow, and the tree continues to live. I would not be, and nor should any of us be, concerned with our own material wealth. I'm not saying don't own anything. I'm not saying sell everything you have and give it to the poor. Though I wouldn't stop you if you wanted to do that. What we have above that is a something to put that wealth into, something to put our material gains toward. In the design documents for the Jewish temple, there is a beam made of pure gold. It's in the design document. It's you're supposed to use pure gold as one of the support beams inside the walls, keeping the structure up. Every house has support beams. But it's completely unseen, undetected. It serves no purpose. It is incredibly wasteful. Why do this? What we have is something to put our wealth in, and our work and our time and our possessions into, that is not just factories, climbing a tech tree, weapons and armor in order to have more strength in the world. These are all fine and good. But we have something that we don't lose. Even if all of those things are taken away, even if everything is taken away, we don't lose that. This is something that is designed to live beyond worlds, beyond empires. This is why religions exist and evolve the way they do. They give a people total resilience to tragedy and loss. We are in this world to learn why people do what they do by doing it ourselves. And here we can do it without giving up our own story. We're given another. In this world, we can learn how better to live without ourselves falling prey to the shortcomings of these mechanisms, which I think we can see all around us, everywhere in the world right now. These meta-narratives are very strong, but they come at a cost. They make people, the way that they are designed is to, if the design is taken over by a state or a powerful person, it becomes armor, it becomes factories and security. It turns into those things because it is morphed into a structure to recreate power by those same powerful people. Religion, in the form that precedes this, and Hegel talks about this, is a more universal narrative, a meta-narrative, not tied to any political entity. Peter is our king. He came from us, and he remains with us, and he will return to us, and yet he is king of the whole world. The Commonwealth is not just a nation. It is a family of those who serve the king. And that is not limited only to citizens of this great nation. This is a gift we give to the world. And we should give it selflessly. For as that which gives value to the world, we become its foundation. We follow in the steps of our King. And in this way, we make this world sacred and holy and totally unique. That is its great strength. We may pursue these other things, but we should always pursue them in the name of our King. Because in our King resides that story, resides that purpose. Which is why I encourage every one of you to meditate on him day in day and night. We have the narrative. We have given the narrative to this world. The narrative is being lost elsewhere. It is being hijacked by powerful forces who would seek only to recreate their own power and privilege. We will not make their mistake. We are in this world to build a new model, a better model for religion. Decay and generations have corrupted the faiths of the primary world. They lost the plot, as we say. The main faiths of the world have been co-opted by evil states and evil people. It has been turned into their dog. They are those who would slay the naked king, even as they accept his gifts. We must not be them. We must never be them. We must be something much better. We were given this king, this same king that they were given and they lost because they let him down, because they did not serve him, because they expected him to serve them. We serve the king because they did not, because they failed to. That is why he came here to us. We must not be greedy like they are. We must not keep this king of the whole world to ourselves. This king gave all, created the world, as evidenced by King's Cross, that rock upon his cohorts, those crossing rivers, the events that occurred there, all of them. Read the wiki. Read on the King's Cross monument. All of that is true. Every word. The king has given up on the primary world. Don't you see it? Don't you see how everything is falling apart there, while everything here remains strong and steady, untouched by the evil forces of the world, the dogs that consume all? That is to the credit and the glory of Peter. And as we serve him, we should remember that he was not given to us to keep away from the rest of the world, but to give. Our hierarchy is not a pyramid for a reason. Our hierarchy is a tree. The top does not sit upon that which is below. The top does not collect and suck life from that which is below. The king is the foundation. The king gives up. A tree feeds itself from the ground up. It is those smallest pieces, youngest, weakest pieces, that are given to, not taken from. This is the way in which the primary world has been corrupted. We should take this project of ours seriously, because humanity needs something better. And to have something better, it needs people who are willing to imagine it and see it and create it, to serve a better master. One who gives up instead of takes up. One who bolsters instead of squashes. One who, instead of choosing to turn the sword on the whole world, allows the sword to be turned on him because he knows that it can't hurt him. Because the world is his. And it is his to give. And that is what it is for. It is for giving. The real power is narrative. Empires, armies, wealth. These things are substitutes for a lack of control over the narrative. Substitutes for a weak story. Your story is weak. It would fall apart in a second if you didn't have those armies holding it together like spit and glue on a boat at sea. It cannot last. It requires continual replacement and maintenance that cannot be done without that narrative, without that story. That is how it is done. If you don't have that, you're fucked. Your ship's going to sink sooner or later. We have been given an unsinkable ship. That is our power. That is our gift. And it is a gift to give back to the world, to share with the world. Because the world needs it. It really needs it. So that's why you should not be concerned with material losses. Because in comparison to this, it means nothing. In comparison to this, it is a drop in the sea. Infinite wealth comes from the king. And you will have it. Every part of the tree is nourished by its base. A tree is naked, and yet it lacks nothing. Our tree wears one article of clothing, the crown. And it cannot be removed. Read, meditate, study, write even. And do everything that you do, whatever that is. And see the meaning in it. See how it becomes part of the story. Pergy was planting trees in the garden the other day. Each and every one of them totally unique. See how every act, even however small, is part of that story. And it will be remembered as such. What we build up and out, with hands outstretched to give, not to take. A tree is a giving thing, a generous thing. It gives us shade, and food, and wood. It gives everything of itself. And yet it continues to give, because it continues to grow. From the earth, from the crown, from that which does not move. We are built on a stone. We are built on a solid foundation. To be built on wealth and empire and greed is to build on sand. When it runs out, everything falls. Our foundation will outlive the earth, if the earth is ever to die. But if it is not to lie, if it is to remain forever, it will be because of him. It will be because of what he gave us. A foundation so strong it cannot be destroyed, cannot be lost, cannot be stolen, cannot despawn at the bottom of a pit. I'm sorry about what happened, Nat Hope, but you will be totally fine because you are part of that tree. And life will continue to flow through the veins of that tree. Though branches and twigs and leaves and fruit may fall off the ends. Because the king is endless, abundant wealth for all of his people.